Welcome to the Comics Newswire Early Edition. What's the early edition? Well, this is the news that we got over the weekend that we thought you should know. Doesn't make it more important, it just makes it so people might be talking about it, projects might be ending, and forecasts and places you might want to know about where creators are going are all part of this show. This is the Comics Newswire Early Edition. So we're going to dive right into it and talk to you about this week's sponsor. Every week we have a sponsor, and this week's sponsor is Indie Advocates on TikTok. That's right. We have dedicated Indie Advocates to being a TikTok channel that is dedicated to just indie creators. Now, Comic Book Advocates TikTok channel remains and will become part of the family. We will be doing educational stuff on both channels, but with the Comic Book Advocates, we'll be covering mainstream and doing a lot more crossover stuff with more established brands. We wanted to have two very different feeling brands, one for the independent creators, which might cross over to the Comic Book Advocates, don't get me wrong, but the Comic Book Advocates mainstream content will not be shown on Indie Advocates. I hope that makes sense. But in the end, I think it will, and it'll work out for everyone. And this week, we're advocating for Art of the Day's Mike Seeley, and that's my project, which is going to Kickstarter. It's Wolf and Fox. He happens to be the colorist and the first artist to ever draw a wolf and fox in a published version. And I'm so thrilled to be working with him. And go check it out. It's the Art of the Day. We'll have on every weekday. We're going to be taking the weekends off. But every weekday, there'll be Art of the Day starting today while we're recording this on Monday, September 12th. November, geez, I'm jumping the year. Nothing to talk about this week on crowdfunding's last call. This is where we just talk about all the stuff that is ending this week. So we're going to move on to the Comics Newswire Early Edition. Let's do this. And this week's complicated, so you might see us actually talking about three things at once because we had to group things because this week it was D23. And I even know what that stands for. But first, let's take a look at some good morning vibes through the He-Man magazine cover. Oh, man, this was just cool. If you're a fan of He-Man, for those who don't know, He-Man started as a comic book. Believe it or not, it was the comic book that they put inside the toy that then made a TV show. See, Netflix, the toys we love, taught me something. True story there. All right, so here we go. This is going to be a bunch of adventure news. So here we go. Kevin Feige confirms that the Avengers have disassembled, coming from comicbook.com. However, in more Avenger news, we found out that the Winter Soldier is going to be now part of the Thunderbolts. That's also brought to us by Comic Book Resources. This is Kevin Feige deems him the team's most stable member. Oh, boy. And then more from Comic Book Resources lets us know that Captain America, A New World Order, will see Carl Lumbo return as Isaiah Bradley. And this is something I'm looking forward to seeing how they're going to handle that and connect the dots. I think that character deserves a lot more screen time, don't you? We're going to be moving on and just taking a minute to appreciate some Transformers fan art brought to us by Karato, leader of the Hauler Gang. I'm not sure he did the art, but he's shown it off. According to Cyberverse, these two have been at each other's throat for 66 million freaking years. Wow! And destroyed several worlds in the process. Either planets are weak as hell here, or these two are running off the power of Singular Lancer himself. Ooh my. Great art, though. I really dug it. That's Jetfire. Oh, did I tell you a story? Jetfire is one of my favorite Transformers because my dad got it for me. But it wasn't Jetfire. But that's not today's video. Today, we're going to be talking about comics news. We're going to talk about Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur animated series unveils a new trailer revealing the anticipated show 2023 release date. I hope you guys like dinosaurs because we're going to get a lot of them in 2023. Animated ones anyway, through Moon Girl and the Devil Dinosaur. All right, let's check it out. The Secret Invasion is going to be a blast. Oh my. I wonder who is hiding amongst us, huh? Everyone's a critic about the comments. There we go. Victor Dandridge, the hardest working man in comics, and Justin Castadilla I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, are showing off the stickers from their recent campaign. I can't wait to get mine because I back the hardest working man, the hardest working comics book man in the world. I know I'm saying it wrong. It's not my pitch line, but sorry, Victor. And he's showing off these amazing things from the kindergartenian guardians. Wow. I'm glad no one's paying me for this, but it's a great project. Check it out, full of fun, and those stickers look awesome. Sometimes you just get tongue-tied. What can you do but laugh at yourself, right, guys? So here we go. Let's switch gears from laughing to taking things serious, as the Thunderbolts is going to be released in 2024, and that lineup, well, that's an intimidating lineup if you ask me. And that's brought to us, by the way, the MCU concept art over on Twitter. Also on Twitter was comicbook.com that told us the Thunderbolt star David Haberow told us the Red Guardian's getting a new suit for Thunderbolts. Here we go from Comic Book Resources. Wonder Woman shows off her vibrant new armor in one-shot tie-in to DC Dark Crisis on an Infinitive Earths event. And this is just one of those amazing looking outfits, and I was stopped by it. It's so shiny. You can find more details by checking out the Comic Book Resources Twitter page, or just checking out this early edition over on comicbookadvocates.com. Week 37 is the one you want to see. Will the real Joker please stand up? We found out his real name. And Kim Kardashian to the MCU? Say what? Comicbook.com has got you covered. Go check them out now. And in Batman news this weekend, brand new Batman Hush story coming from the original creators, Joseph Loeb and Jim Lee. It didn't just stop there. That was a cool preview picture, but we're also going to find out more if we go to comicbook.com Twitter page about Batman Zor-En-Arr explained fully, and some of it I didn't even know. It was a very interesting read. Time for some indie creator self-promotion. Someone was asking about creators and to drop their links, and we got a link drop from Comics Unknown as they're working with Seclusion Studio on Exodus, ZZ Zombie, comic book where not even heaven is safe. Oh my. Some sad news to report coming off of Comic Book Resources. Acclaimed comic book artist Eric Jones, best known for co-creating Little Gloomy and a number of all-ages comic book projects, has passed away at the early age of 51. Way too early. He will be missed in the industry. If you're a Trekkie, this one's for you. Coming off the Comic Book Resources, if they celebrate Star Trek Day at Paramount, they gave us a clip from the upcoming season, Strange New Worlds, and I watched it, and it's definitely ear-raising. I know, you think you can't raise your ears? I've seen people do it. Comicbook.com gives us the fact that Gargoyles Remastered is going to have a video game. That's right. Disney's starting to put out some games. They're cashing in every way they can, but we'll be entertained at home on our consoles. Happy birthday, Harley Quinn. How it started and how it's going. It's 30 years later, and we have become obsessed with Harley Quinn. Blue Beetle star Susan Sarandon discussed playing Victoria Cord in the upcoming DC film I'm of course the bad guy. I'm the White Military Industrial Complex. Oh my. I wonder what she's been doing in the DECU, if that's still what they're calling it. This is brought to us by Comic Book Resources. Are you ready for a block of Daredevil news? Well, here it comes from comicbook.com Twitter page. We saw the reuniting of Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio, and this is for Daredevil Born Again. But wait, there's more. As Charlie Cox says that Daredevil Reborn is not a reboot. It's a season 1, not a season 4. It's a whole new thing. Yet they're getting the same actors to play it. I'm so curious now. Multiverse, of course. Daredevil star says he also very has a lot of gratitude for the MCU return, saying the #save Daredevil really got things going, and he says he owes them a huge thank you for showing their support. And Charlie Cox also says that his She-Hulk attorney at law features a filthy version of Deadpool. I'm still in. I'm still all the way in. And it looks like Daredevil is already getting a brand new suit. That's coming off of comicbook.com. And from comic book resources over at D23, they confirmed that the production of the series of Daredevil Born Again will start in 2023. And finally, here's the new logo for that. And you guys can see it again. Daredevil Born Again. It just dropped over at D23. And again, I'll explain what D23 means in just a few seconds. Mal Hennessy says, if you're a comic book creator building a business and trying to understand the industry, then you need to read this book. No lie. I own that book. It's right behind me as we're recording this, and I'm constantly reading and going to this class. If you're not following the Mal Hennessy on Twitter, do yourself a favor if you're a comic book creator and follow that man today. Comicbook.com. Comicbook.com has given us the news about Marvel's The Punisher, who just crossed a line that no one expected. Oh no, what did you do, Frank? Go to comicbook.com on Twitter to find out. An upcoming Kickstarter that we're going to be talking about soon, I'm sure, on our platform and on our news. Check out the Comic Book Advocates CNW for more information about this, or look towards CNW this Wednesday for more information. It's called a teaser, kids. It's a teaser. It's to get you to watch Wednesday. Here we go. Here's why the Fantastic Forecast wasn't announced at D23's presentation. I know you want to know, but you're going to have to go to comicbook.com on Twitter to find out, or Week 37's early edition on comicbookadvocates.com. Very exciting news from Comic Book Resources. Co-stars from Indiana Jones got to reunite. Shortstop and Jones got back together, and here's the picture to prove it. Reunited and it feels so good, says Mark Hamill. I guess he's a fan of Indiana Jones. Here we go. Coming from Evan Povos. He gives us coming soon to Second Sight Publishing. It's Gloomy Cats Productions about there is no greater danger than the underestimating of your opponent. And this is coming soon. It's Sister Kate. Check it out. Second Sight is getting some awesome, trying to see some, I think it's just a single issue in our series. They're getting a really cool issue. Evan does such great things. I'm so proud of him, and I love following him. So check him out. He's going to Second Sight Comics, and it's going to Canada soon to come. So if you order from the Lunar catalog, I guess you can get them. I think Lunar's in Canada. If I'm wrong, blast me in the comments. All right, so here we go. Here's where I'll explain what D23 is. So D23 is when Disney actually created the company all the way back in 1923. That's right, 100 years in just a few months of Disney. And they were showing all the best over at comicbook.com, all the stuff that went on, including the surprises was the Mandalorian 3 trailer, a live action glimpse of planet Mandalore, which is currently in bad shape. And we have the first live action Sabian Wren actress who showed up to talk about the upcoming show. And the Bad Batch returns for its second season this January. I know people are excited about that. All brought to us by comicbook.com and comic book resources for the record. All right, so here we go. Ironheart debuts its first footage at D23 Expo. I'm sure we'll see it if it hasn't already leaked online. Go look for it now. It's going to be on YouTube. Thank you, comicbook.com, for sharing your secrets. Coming to us from Comic Book Resources. There was a Spider-Man and Wolverine team up at the Hellfire Gala from an X-Men villain. What could it all mean? Go to Comic Book Resources on Twitter. Follow them and check it out. Or you can go to comicbookadvocates.com. Look for week 37 of the COMiX Newswire Early Edition. This is coming off the Comic Book Newswire newsroom. And it's Max DeVille. Get yourself some gore-filled zombie action of full sexy women slaughtering the undead. Support it on Kickstarter today. It's Ninja Bimbos on Kickstarter. This show is actually long compared to how fast I'm actually going with these. But here we go. Some more fan art brought to us by Mysteries of Grayskull. And this is Lord of Destruction. Hashtag MOTU. Artist Eric Ryan. Ready for another Captain America block? Well, here we go. Captain America, the New World Order director, Julius Ohan, reveals when production starts. This is from comicbook.com. And as well as the news came out from Comic Book Resource, the Captain America New World Order will see the MCU debut of the Israel superhero, Sabra. Sabra? I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. It's the first time I'm actually hearing about this character. I look forward to learning more. Footage has been shown at D23 Expo that reveals the Marvels' Carol Danner, Monica Rambeau, and Kamala Khan will merge powers in unexpected and inconvenient ways. Ooh, the Marvels is going to be a sticky situation. It has begun! The Fandom Bubble Awards kicked off this Sunday. We have moved the official launch of all the awards to Sunday evenings, by the way. It'll be up by 9 p.m. while I'm doing this early edition actual news program, putting it together. You guys can see we've got some great names, 57 votes. This is less than 24 hours old. Victor Dandridge, Brian Polito, Garrett Gunn. Don't give up. Don't think that you can't win. And know that just being part of the process can help build your career, because you'll get seen with names like this. Garrett Gunn, Monty Michael Moore, Dan Menados. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Brian Polito, Victor Dandridge. Oh man, just to be able to say that I belong in this category with these creators, that's enough for me. How about you? But if you think you can take it from Michael Monty Moore, you got plenty of time. This is going to go all the way until the show live in January. So you have plenty of time to assemble your troops to get them to support you. Good luck, riders. Brie Larson admits that she's not clear what's going to happen with Captain Marvel's future in the MCU, coming off of Comic Book Resources. From Heroics Hollywood, the Dr. Fate costume is glorious for the upcoming Black Adam film. CBR gives us, as the mayor of New York City, Luke Cage goes to meet with two powerful players that gave both Daredevil and the Kingpin a challenge with their criminal exploits. Oh, man, when your heroes turn to villains, right? From comicbook.com, Don Cheadle talks the plot of Armor Wars and how War Machine is changed by the death of Tony Stark in Phase Zero's exclusive D23 Expo interview. Marvel's Midnight Suns has a new release date coming off of comicbook.com. Marvel's Cinematic Universe fans express outrage across social media after D23 ends without announcing Moon Knight Season 2. Go join the hashtag to get Marvel to make a Season 2. I want to know what happens. Marvel announces that Spider-Man's 60th anniversary celebration at D23 Expo. What's it going to look like? I bet you there'll be a lot of webs. Go to comicbook.com on Twitter, subscribe to them, and find out how the celebration is going to go down. Another block of information coming from comicbook.com. The Skydance's new Captain America and Black Panther game will be a single player. Boo. But will fight Hydra in the World War II era of the game from the Uncharted director. I wonder who that Black Panther might be then, right? And for those who didn't see it earlier today in our program and haven't seen the other video where I just teased it, I'm going to give you the date. Marvel's Midnight Suns announces it will now release on December 2nd. Those two should have been put together. What can you do? The Boys release a first look at the concept art for the show's spinoff, Gen V, showcasing the college, university, and training Vaught's future superheroes. This is coming off the Comic Book Resources Twitter page. Make sure to subscribe to them and keep up on the comic book news coming off of their Twitter wire. And we share it on our stuff. Most of this stuff is shared. And comicbook.com gives us the Missing Evil Morty. The co-creator confirms the foe will be returning to the series. Doesn't say this season, but he'll be back. Just like a bad rash, right? Rick and Morty's co-creator is teasing that there's still some more Rick's origin story to tell coming off of comicbook.com. More Rick and Morty. More Rick and Morty news is about the big premiere. Big premiere broke hearts with Morty's most surprising callback yet. Still fresh. Comicbook.com on Twitter. Subscribe. And just for fun, Minions the Rise of Group, which I haven't seen yet. My son wanted to go with his mom, so I told him I'd watch it with him on TV because that was his mom and Jack's time. So I'm going to see it now with him at home on the Peacock Network. And no, they didn't pay me, but I'm willing to be bought. A new Marvel ride is coming to Disneyland featuring King Thanos. Oh, someone better call Thor, coming from comicbook.com. And there's still more news, I know. Comicbook.com gives us Ben Kingsley makes his first comments about returning to the MCU in the upcoming Wonder Man series. Uh-oh. I wonder what character he's going to be playing now. Some people get that joke once more. What? Sign me up, coming from comicbook.com. Mortal Kombat creator Ed Boon is polling fans to see if they want a Marvel vs. DC video game. Who doesn't want this? If you have a friend who doesn't want this, hit them hard in the back of their head to knock sense into them. This disclaimer does not make it my fault if you get arrested for hitting your friend. Don Cheadle talks about his Tony Stark's death has affected War Machine from comicbook.com, as we learned earlier, but also explains the plot of Armor Wars and announces that it's coming to Disney Plus, which is pretty exciting. And he also said, I don't know if the article's here, but I will say, because I did read it today, I don't know if it made it to this show, that he said that he doesn't want Iron Man. He doesn't want to become Iron Man with his character Rhodes. He wants Rhodes to be his own man. I actually hope we're getting there to the end now. So I gotta go pick up Jaxie Boy. The Boys releases the full music video for Supersonic and Super Sweet's Rock My Kiss single, pumped full of dated lyrics about love in the 2000s. Oh man, he will be missed. If you watch this show, you'll know what I mean. Some more Indiana Jones news coming from Comic Book Resources. The footage was shown, and Harrison Ford wept and described the film as fantastic. Oh man, I want to see this even more now. And oh my goodness, I love Phoebe Waller-Bridge. She does amazing projects. I can't wait to see her. Maria, she's going to be the new Indy. And that's it, kids. That's the end of the show. We're going to give you a quick glimpse of the upcoming forecast, and the regular forecast will be up on Tuesdays by 9 p.m. on the Advocating Tube over on our YouTube. But here's your sneak peek. And all I got for you this week is I'm going to be walking around. You can come hang out with me in downtown Fort Myers as I go to the Music Walk and listen to some great tunes this Friday from 6 to 10 p.m. All right, guys. Here's the normal spiel. If you have something you want to share with us, go on Meta to the Comics Newswire newsroom or send us an email over at comicsnewswire@yahoo.com. And this show made possible in part thanks to a partnership with Continuum Comics. And you can get all the Continuum books you want at wearecomics.com. That's the show, guys. D23 blew it away. I saved so much of the information I could for the other show this week. We will have a Comics Newswire 30 minutes, and I went as fast as I could. I gotta go to Jaxie. Thank you all for tuning in. We're gonna sign off. Thank you, Twitter. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, Facebook.